Magnificent Seven title belts. So a big free range there, Matt. I'm sure there's a few that are coming into your thoughts now for that. But of course, if you're like me, it's very difficult then to rank them. But we'll definitely have that. And of course, like I always do with the Magnificent Seven, if you want to email us in, just put it in the subject bar, just put Mag7, and if you've got any belts that, just in case we don't mention any, we always say honourable mentions, because I'm sure I'll forget some, or some that may be very, very much in the historical records, shall we say. But it's literally based on kind of our own personal opinion on this one, Matt. So we'll be getting to that in June. Matt, I want to talk now. Of course, next Friday we're going to be up at London again. This time Ring of Honor, and I'll say back a lot sooner than we thought, Matt. But how excited are you now for? Obviously, we're coming out of WWE to go to a more of an indie flavour for definite. I mean, probably the kings of the indie, Ring of Honor, who we've both attended twice in the last few years, and have been excellent shows, both of them. Top to bottom, great quality all the way through. It's not really about star power; it's more about the product, and what they present is so good. Excited for this one, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, I've got a good vibe about this. For one thing, the venue has changed, which
right.
I'm going to take that as a positive and say their ambition is growing. And if they want to fill out bigger arenas in the UK, I'm all up for that, and I'm sure that they have something good in store for us then to actually make us want to turn up and fill up even bigger arenas. So I'm sure they're going to try and pull out all the stops this time around, and no doubt they always have a magnificent card and a magnificent stack of talent there to perform. I just don't know how they do it. It's almost like they do this in a way better than WWE. They just pluck people almost out of obscurity sometimes and then make them a star, or they spot the talent before WWE even has a chance to approach these guys.
True. It is true. Well, we've got some of the matches announced, Matt. I don't know if you've seen them. They're going to be coming up. We've got Cody is up against Kenny King, which should be a great match. I know you're a fan of his in general, so that's going to be cool to see, obviously, with the whole Bullet Club and stuff. Just a quick note about Cody, Matt, because I hate the fact we only can call him Cody, by the way. I think it's absolutely ridiculous, but in any case, we all know he's Cody Rhodes. I don't know why they're so bothered about it, WWE, honestly. But yeah, Cody up against Kenny King. But a quick mention on Cody. How well has he done, Matt, overall? And you got to easily, I think, hands down, say that it was the correct decision, Matt, in about leaving the WWE to pursue this. I know people might have been raising a few eyebrows and thinking, you might not be, grass might not be green as you think. Especially, he hasn't gone to Japan. I know he's wrestled in Japan now, but he basically made a full commitment with Ring of Honor, which is, quite a big statement. He didn't go to TNA. I guess he could have done. I guess there would have been an offer there, but obviously, definitely an intelligent
He did make
move.
some appearances.
Yeah. I mean, as a full-time guy here for Ring of Honor, and obviously getting his character now with the Bullet Club, obviously, from his perspective, how well has he done since then, Matt? And, do you see him, if there ever was a callback, that WWE would have to give this guy some much better credit next time round?
Oh yeah, I mean, if he was ever to come back, then yeah, I'm sure he would get that recognition that he's now created for himself, and credit to the guy for doing that. I find he's a real trailblazer in that sense, that he's given a lot of hope to a lot of people. I'm sure that if you ever feel your career is stagnant and that you're worth more, you have that option. You can go out and do things on your own, and you can actually be a huge success outside of WWE. It isn't the be-all and end-all. I know it is a great end goal for a lot of people's careers to make it to WWE and then earn the big cash.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a lot of money to be made outside of WWE as well, and he's definitely proved that. If he was to come back and be offered anything like a Stardust gimmick or anything like that, it would be an insult, and I'm sure the fans would see it that way, and they definitely let WWE know about that.
Yeah, absolutely. The other matches that have been announced, we've got Shane Taylor up against Yano, so that's going to be a good match as well. Also, Jay Lethal, Matt, up against Mark Briscoe, should be a terrific match as well.
Nice.
Definitely I'm guessing Jay might be, it's going to be a match. And also, we've got a 4-corner survival match, Matt, non-title. But that looks really good as well. We've got a Ring of Honor World 6-man championship match as well. The Kingdom, Social Uncensored, and the Bullet Club. So that's going to be something, isn't it? As always, of course, Christopher Daniels and Kazarian in that. And since we last saw him, Matt, what a rise for Dalton Castle, who always seemed to get a crazy reaction from the fans. But I never really pictured him as the guy. But I mean, I've seen some of his stuff. I've been watching him on some of the videos, like on the Ring of Honor page, and he's going up against Evil on the night. But you know what? He definitely can back it up. I mean, there's no doubt about it. He is a bit of an extravagant character, but it's good stuff. I mean, the thing I will say about Ring of Honor, Matt, I think. People say to me, where do I go if I'm not finding WWE appealing? I would stress check out Ring of Honor. I mean, especially now they're coming over here. I mean, if you a little bit maybe think WWE is too much for you now and you're not agreeing with the politics or the direction, I say go to Ring of Honor, because it's just there's always something there, and those guys kind of like they wrestle like it's going to be their last match sometimes, Matt, don't they? I mean, it's just crazy. Almost sometimes you want them to slow down a little bit, but they're so unique to themselves. But I definitely think it's a much more adult theme, isn't it, Matt, at Ring of Honor? You would say.
Yeah, and it's definitely for the purist wrestling fans as well. I mean, if you only care about what's going on inside the ring, then that's definitely 100% up your alley. And it's the lineage as well it brings. That belt that they have, it's been held by some incredibly credible people. Mm-hmm. So it just continues to impress. It's almost now a measuring stick. If you're going to get that Ring of Honor title, you're going to be destined for great things.
Yeah, absolutely. So really looking forward to checking that out, and obviously getting down there next week to check that out, Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. So it's going to be really good, and really looking forward to giving our feedback on that. But it's just cool to go there as a fan. I think it's a good stop to go, and it's something we didn't expect this early as well, Matt. So good sign, and it's good as well that Ring of Honor have capitalised in coming to the UK, because there definitely is a market for them here, and I do believe that they may get as popular as what TNA managed to do over here when they was actually filling out Wembley. I think Ring of Honor, I just think maybe they're just not that brave enough yet, but I think if they said, no, we'll book Wembley, I doubt they'll lose any money. I think they will really fill it up. They might be a bit hesitant because, again, two things about it, Matt, I guess. One, Ring of Honor is more about the smaller crowds. They like to keep it a little bit more internal. They never try and be something they're not, which I respect. And secondly, maybe they're just a bit fearful. Can we actually do it? Is there the fan base? But I do think there is the fan base, 100% to do it.
Maybe they're going to wait and see how Progress do.
yeah, exactly. That's from Wembley, isn't it? Is that Wembley that night?
Yeah, that'll be there. Yeah.
Wembley Arena. Progress, the ticket that we booked out is actually the last event at the moment, isn't it? That we've got coming up. So that's such an outstanding ticket that we bought. But obviously, much in advance, they know what they're getting. I guess at least they're not going to have to worry about that, are they? So That would be cool. Looking forward to Ring of Honor as always. Matt, now turning our attentions to the UFC now, Matt, and lots of fans have been emailing in. We are going to have a special episode for this where good friend of the show, Daniel Puder, will be coming back on, giving us his thoughts about it. Obviously CM Punk, Matt, he's back in action again. And I guess love him, hate him. I'm guessing most of the UFC fans are not really, overly happy about CM Punk and what he stands for and where he's come in, etc., etc. But he is back on again. What do you think about the next match, Matt, and possible outcomes for this? If he loses this match, do you suspect that's it for definite, or does CM Punk still have it in him to try again, or is this the sort of last hurrah now for this one? Because again, the guy he's facing here, Jackson, he's got exactly the same record as CM Punk, and I don't know if I told you, Matt, but he also lost to Mickey Gall as well. So they both lost to the same exact person. So you couldn't get more of a sort of equal position now for this. Like, I think fans might have said, okay, Mickey Gall is actually a really good fighter. Maybe that's the reason CM Punk got beat up so bad. But here we have a situation, Matt, where it almost seems like it's going to be this or nothing now towards the end. What do you make? UFC 225 here. Obviously, he's not anywhere near the main event, but he is on the card.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one and a much anticipated one. Surely everyone deserves a second chance, don't they? Maybe it was just incredible bad luck. We'll have the answer soon, just how good he is. But yeah, I'm expecting at least a dramatic improvement in his performance this time around. Surely he's learned a lot from his last outing in the octagon, and I'm not going to discredit the guy or discount him. I think he is in with a chance. I feel like, although age has always been against him, like stepping into the octagon, I feel like if he's ever going to make an impression, it's got to be in this match. And his mindset, he's got that kind of mindset. He does apply himself 100% when he sets himself a goal. So, we just got to wait and see now. I kind of personally hope this time around he does do a lot better and does get a win on this night, because I feel like then he can put this to rest and maybe close a chapter on this part of his career. I'm sure he might want to go in for another one, and if he wins, I'm not even going to say he should get another match if he wins, because I feel like he doesn't really have to prove anything to anyone, and I'd rather him get back into wrestling. But of course, I'm going to be a bit biased, being more of a wrestling fan than an MMA fan. But I just feel like that is where he does his best work.
Yeah, one thing I will say here, and I know UFC fans, they get upset about CM Punk being on it, but look, he's not in the main event. He's like the fourth match down. You've got Alistair over him that night, and two other matches ahead of that. So I think what they've got to realise with CM Punk is, and this is what Dana White's thinking, man, there is a spike in the buy rate because WWE fans are always curious to see a guy like CM Punk see what he can do. There's an intrigue into that. So, for Dana White's point of view, this makes absolute sense to have him there. Now, if he was main eventing, I would probably be a bit like, hang on a minute. That's taking the mick out of the guys that have been there for so long, and how's CM Punk just come in here? But this goes back, Matt, in a little way. You could say the same thing here, and I will say it about Ronda Rousey. This is why Ronda Rousey is where she's at, and she doesn't. I know that a lot of the female wrestlers got upset that when she came in at the Royal Rumble, she hogged the spotlight. But at the same time, you have to respect that, because she'd done a lot for the women's evolution in general in any sport. And I don't think if it wasn't for her success as a solo athlete, that WWE would have even caught up with that in the last, because they were still calling them divas at that time. It's only lately that they then thought, oh no, it's going to be women. So you have to give and take a bit, and obviously in WWE's situation, they realise there's a spike. She's bringing in her own fans, and it's exactly the same here. Now, CM Punk, he is not, he's never been a pedigreed fighter. He's not even in, Brock Lesnar's territory of even having an amateur wrestling background in the NCAA. Nowhere near that. This is something that he is wanting to go into very much late on in life. There's no doubt about that. But in Dana White's position here, Matt, surely if you've got a guy like this who brings this sort of attention to your product, you're not going to send him away, are you? I mean, you're going to give him another shot. I don't know what the contract was that he signed. There was a rumour it was a free fight deal, but I'm guessing that could be adjusted.